Here we are just outside of Quebec City in the little town of Lyster, Quebec for a Lumberjack competition. And for the second year in a row, Hugues Fillion, the organizer, has been able to count on the support of Desjardins. They're a major partner in this event, and it is their belief and part of their mission to contribute to improving the economic and social well-being of people and their communities. Their values of social responsibility and caring for others allowed for a project like the multi-purpose recreation facility to become a reality just a few years ago. Desjardins is a big part of this community in rural Quebec, and we certainly hope that this event will survive for years to come and that businesses continue to be involved. Well, we're now about to head into the obstacle pole bucket, and I know we do this a lot in the Maritimes where you're from, Rod. We do it in Ontario, Quebec. It's really popular out in the West Coast and British Columbia. A lot of skills involved in perfecting this event.
I think the obstacle pole bucket defines a modern-day lumberjack. You have to have a lot of speed, be able to run a chainsaw, have agility and balance. It actually is a great event.
Well, this first heat, we got Hugues Fillion, the show organizer, taking on Martha Vineyard's Vince Messiel. Should be a great race. The first thing they do is they grab their saw, race it into the log. They got to touch the yellow line just before actually it's an orange line, run up the end of the log, hand the pull cord, take one disc off the end of the log.
Vince Messiel has hardly done this event, but he's running neck and neck right now with Hugues Fillion. He's having a great race. Both are turning at the same time.
Vince almost loses his balance, and Hugues does lose his balance. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Vince is gonna finish the race over, takes a look over at Hugues, make sure he's okay, and let's check it out, how Hugues Fillion's feeling. Everything was going okay, and then what happened there?
On the way down, I stepped too much on the side of the log and my foot slipped, so I went down at lightning speed.
So you have 4 children. Are you going to have any more children?
We closed the shop anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Well, the bad news is Hugues had to take a DQ on that. The good news is he's still able to walk around and to be able to participate the rest of the competition. This heat number 2, Mike Sullivan taking on Donald Lambert. Time to beat now is Vince Messiel, who actually clocked in with a 22.95 there. Donald's always been good at this over the years.
A little bit of strategy here with Mike Sullivan. Mike Sullivan, a great competitor. You know he's going to be in for the overall. He's looking at this event saying, do I go for it in this event, or do I just finish it and get down with all my stuff intact?
I know it's Donald Lambert. He switched hands with his chainsaw right at the very end. Caused him a little bit of time, but he's making up for it by sprinting down the log, and Donald Lambert winning this heat, doing a great job of holding his balance and clocking in with a 17.56. But I think changing hands with your chainsaw at the very, very end when he crosses the second orange line might cost him a little bit. Here he switches from his right hand to his left hand, then he's got to grab the pull cord.
I think it's great to switch hands, but I do it a little bit sooner coming up the log. Take that time that you have when you're running up there. See Mike Sullivan just coasting to the end? He actually took that strategy of taking your time, save your energy for the events that you're a little bit better at.
Well, this next heat is going to be Jerry Gingras taking on Dave Jewett. Both guys very adept at the obstacle pole. You see Dave Jewett here at the start line. His saw a little bit different position.
He's trying to get a little bit of advantage because last year in Dixville Notch, when we covered that show, Jerry Gingras actually won that event.
Well, both guys pull the ripcord and the chainsaws exact same time, into the wood exact same time. This is going to be a close race, and they both head down the logs.
Look at Jerry Gingras. He's beating him to the ground. But Dave Jewett, look at a sprint to the end.
It looks like Gingras just edged him out. Looks like they gave him a time of 17.91 to Dave's 18.19. Excellent job by Jerry, leaning over the log, holding on to his balance. And that's one of the keys, is holding your balance while you're bending over operating a chainsaw.
The turns are really what's critical in this event. Go swinging from one thing to another, making your turns at the end of the log, and also once you shut that saw off. That's what can give you a jump in this event.
Last heat, Simone Bertrand taking on Calvin Willard. If you recall watching the show from Lyster last year, Calvin had a very controversial call with just touching his foot over the orange line at the bottom. He made it, and here he is again, taking on Simone Bertrand, one of the best.
Look at the turns Jean-Simon had at the bottom of that pole, gave him a distinct advantage in this run.
Both guys were into the wood exact same time. It looks like Calvin struggling to get through his disc. Jean-Simon racing down the log, carrying the saw in his right hand. Calvin Willard's going to take a DQ this year. Jean-Simon wins the obstacle pole back with a 15.71. So the OP is a tough race to do, and you had the more difficult log. There was 2 logs, and there were different logs. You had the tougher log.
I thought that this one was the easiest one because it was flat, bigger than the other one. It didn't have a bump into it, so it was just a solid boardwalk, and you could run on it.
Well, you, sir, Mr. Cumberland, said that log number 2 was going to be the easier one. Simone Bertrand proved you wrong, winning the OP in 15.71.